Oh, sorry, got caught. Rocking along. What's going on, everyone?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
The screen froze just for a second, just at the right or wrong second.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm guessing Tom does more live streams than the rest of us put together, and you're always in that awkward beginning. We're like, are we actually live? Are we talking into the nether?
Someone asked me, there's someone commented in sort of my live streams, is Tom always that confused when he starts a live stream? And I answered, yes, absolutely. Every time, no matter how many I do. The first 10 seconds of live streams are all confusion, maybe even the first 60 seconds.
Yep. What degree of scrambling do we have to do? Yeah, yes. I get it. How's everyone doing today?
Good. It's funny how it shows you that button that says it's live, but you don't really trust it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if folks are watching today, I see L. Copeland. What's up? Ron, I see. That's cool. So y'all start chatting and let us know you are watching so that we can get a little encouragement here. But Ron, good to see you as well. John, how's life for you?
Good. I'm ready to go. I'm like oddly nervous for this thing.
So I think we all are. It's a little it's a first time for all of us. Jeff, what's up, man?
Oh man, it is a beautiful day to, figure out if it's gonna work or not. So you just YOLO at this point, right? Get ambitious and go for it. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, the YOLO sessions we go. Kevin, what's going on?
Not much. Just getting ready to possibly nuke my computer, possibly ruin my reputation all at the same time. So can't wait.
Oh, I love it. Ashley, how's life?
Good. I'm hoping that today is the day that my AI doesn't decide that I've been rude to it and is going to pay me back, but hopefully I've been nice.
Oh, I am super excited. Well, thanks. Yeah, now we're seeing the chat come in. Hey, y'all, we are actually legit for reals live. Oh, so many good people are coming in. Tara, what's up? Tech Wiz, what's going on? Suzanne, James, MSP Insider Show, of course. Bob, man, Katie, so many amazing people. I can't even keep up. Y'all, thank you for joining. Welcome to AI Hackin' 20. We've been bragging and talking about this forever. Tom, what are you most excited about for today?
I want to see something go wrong and something go right, because that is like the summary to me of AI. Like, I have done some amazing things. I'm like, this is so amazing. Then it does something completely stupid, and I'm like, why did it tell me that? And but that's part of it. It's like, I think that's why our contestants here, who are all have some experience in writing these things and understanding them, are going to make it that much more interesting. I think it's going to show that AI has use in the right hands of the right people. It's not. I want to take some of the mystery out of it. I think that's what I'm hoping to see out of here.
Love that. Yeah. And that, honestly, I'm in the same boat. I want to see what we learn. The best way to learn is to try something. Failures are much more valuable than like everything just working perfect. So this is going to be fun. We're really shooting live on this thing. So I'm going to share my screen out and we're going to jump in. Thank you all so much for joining. We're crazy excited about this. And to have my co-host here, the esteemed Dr. Lawrence, the YouTube shill. It is so good to be with you. Y'all know I love to call Tom that. He's a good friend. Okay, so a little bit about what we're doing here. First of all, this is a charity event, y'all. Like, we're really excited about this because there's a couple things that are happening. One is Rejection Con is a big part that we want to talk about. And really, to the whole team here, you guys have been so amazing to let us jump in and promote this. This is a charity community event. The goal for this is, how many of us have had a talk we wanted to get out to the streets, to the airwaves, and we just missed the opportunity for whatever reason. We were rejected. It stinks. It's sad. Like, I get it. I've had that happen. We all have. Anyone named Matt Lee, not named Matt Lee, has had that happen in their life, right? And so what this is about is celebrating that and giving you an opportunity to get your talk, to get your ideas out. But it's also a great place for you to be able to give 100% of your ticket proceeds all go to a charity. This year, we've selected the Rural Technology Fund, and our hope is that we raise $50,000 for them. If you don't know about them, you will have some more info on them later. But you also, if you choose to give on this event today, and we'll talk about why you might want to do that in a bit, it all is going to go to RTF. $0 go to any of us. $0 go to any of this group. It's all for the kids. It's all for the school. Tell me that's not banging. So let's move on. I guess just a quick little bit on Rural Tech Fund. So what they're really all about, you can check them out, ruraltechfund.org. They're a 501c3. What they do is they're actually supporting school systems across the U.S. How many school systems just don't have the budget and the money to do some really cool things? And how many kids miss out on the opportunity to learn what technology is all about, to learn about how cool this world would be for them? They just don't know because they've never been exposed. And so what RTF does is they augment and work along school systems, help them build grant programs, and get some really cool tech in their schools. So 150,000 students have been impacted so far. And what's really cool is Chris, the CEO over there, he is actually able to show us exactly where our money went. So it doesn't go into the nether. He can show us all the way down to the school systems that we've impacted. How awesome is that? And so if y'all, there's a QR code that's there. And John Harden, I think what we're doing on this one is if anyone does give, we're going to give away the full videos of what happens today to you. So you have the entire video library of how we've built these apps. Is that right?
That's right. If you give any amount today, you get all the behind the scenes recordings. We're going to be walking through the builds we do live. So if you like something, you're going to get 4 videos of 4 builds here at the end of the show.
Love it. All right, cool. Let's move on. So rules of the show, Tom, I'm going to let you kind of walk us through what we're doing here and what this thing is all about.
All right. The stream is on. No cuts, no edits. You've got 20 minutes and we're watching every line of code. So this is all live. There was some thought process that went into this. Me and Wes kind of talked with these contestants ahead of time and make sure, don't code ahead. They're doing this part live, but they have some concepts that they're starting with. So there's a little bit of ahead of time, just some thought process put into it. Today's secret ingredient, though, is raw skill. Contestants will have a clean slate, no pre-cooked code allowed. So even though they have ideas, the code is not prepared. They didn't write all this ahead of time. So that's part of a lot of discussion that went in before we set this up. Pick your tech. It's your kitchen. Any tools, any language you can build with. Of course, we want people building in languages they're familiar with because that's where they're going to do their best work. And that's where we're going to recognize if AI hallucinates a library that doesn't exist. They'll go, hey, I know this code and this is not something that's supported. Build for impact. This isn't just flavor. It's about functions. They're actually going to build something useful, something we can eat, something we can use. The ultimate hack challenge, create something a business could take home and use tomorrow. We really want to give value to people. So we want you to watch what they do and maybe even take one of their ideas and run it all the way home. Build your next business off this idea. We'll have you on discussion about it. That would be wild. If someone goes, hey, I watched you guys kind of code an idea. I have a startup now a year later that's completely succeeding at it. That would be an amazing story and I'd love to have you on it. So if that comes out of this, amazing. If nothing else, some education, some fun comes out of it. Also amazing. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely love it. And by the way, the knife is not for stabbing. The knife is for building. We're doing like chop theme today. Cool. Well, let's introduce our speakers, or I guess our panelists, our creators, our whatever we want to call them. We have 4 absolutely stellar folks that have joined us today. Jeff, we're going to start with you first, my friend.
Awesome. Yeah. So what we're going to do today on my side is we're going to build the answer to every fledglingly, situation for MSP owners that just don't know what to do in the moment where it counts to actually move sales conversations forward. So we're going to do it all in ChatGPT. So all you need is 18 years of psychology and doing this and failing a lot, which is what I've packed into basically the prompts, and a $20 account, and you'll be able to pull this off too.
Stellar. I can't wait to see. John Harden, what's up, my friend?
I am going to be vibe coding a tool that helps make onboarding suck way less. I think onboarding at almost every company sucks, especially at an MSP where you have to learn all these things. So we're going to make it fun. So I'm excited. I'm going to be using Cursor, ChatGPT Enterprise, OpenAI platform. Half my stuff's going to break. But I'm excited to do it live. And I'm excited, honestly, to see what Ashley builds. I'm terrified of Ashley. I think she's next. Let's see what she's got coming.
I think we're all terrified of Ashley and super excited what she's going to do. Ashley, what's up?
I'm terrified of what I do. I am going to try to expose some of the simple ways that we can make AI work for us on some of the more complicated logic that we've traditionally thought holds us back from getting access into our data. So at a very high level, it's just going to be something where you could like load in some raw JSON and then be able to like actually make sense of it as a semi-technical ops person kind of user.
Love it. I can't wait to see what happens. And then we've got Kevin. Kevin, what's up, my friend?
Hey, what's up? Kevin Clune, MSP Growth Hacks. So MSPs grow by referral. I think we all have kind of figured that out. It's primary source of net new revenue. And so I was trying to come up with an idea that is like, how do I just throw gasoline on that and make it way easier? And so the way I do that is, number one is mapping out my professional network. And then number two, basically building a custom GPT that tells me who to refer to who in what situation, and then write me an email that introduces the two people based on actual background information that I have on them. So I'm starting with the GPT and basically a live Google sheet that's going to be API in between. And then if I have time, I'm going to actually build the Zap to connect like Calendly and like all the other data sources into the sheet.
Love it. Okay, so now y'all know these are the 4 projects we're working on. I'm super excited about it. Hey, let's talk about, you've heard the word already, vibe coder. John or Tom, you want to explain what we mean when we use those words?
I'll jump in because a vibe coder is what I'm going to do today. I've never vibe coded in my life, by the way, so this is going to be really fun to do. Essentially, you will be communicating via voice to a code editor like a Cursor or any other editor tool out there, and you'll be just no hands-on keyboard vibe coding. And if somebody donates like $100 before I go live, I will do it full ASMR style. I will absolutely like totally vibe this whole thing in a very smooth voice. So, Tom, anything you want to add there?
No, I think you kind of got it. The concept of vibe coding. I do vibe posting sometimes. I start with ideas. I won't lie. Some of my posts have a little bit of LLM tools used in the background. It's really great when you say, come up with a headline, make it snarky. And it's kind of the same concept. You kind of banter back and forth with it. It's kind of like you get the vibe for how you want the post to feel or the code to come out. There's a lot nuance to it. I think it's a better term than prompt engineer. I mean, I'm a vibe engineer, man.
What about the vibe? This whole thing's about the vibe.
Yeah, trying to set the mood. You tell it, ChatGPT, you are an expert in this topic. You're going to do it in this style, and you're setting the mood. You're queuing up the music.
I'm actually kind of terrified. I hope we raised $100, but now that I've said I did it, I have to do it. So.
Well, I'm furiously hitting the refresh button on the actual fundraising page. I see Suzanne, thank you. Ron, thank you. We've already had 2 people give. Oh, y'all are so amazing, but we're waiting for that $100 just so we can make John do what we know John wants to do. So who's going to make that happen? Let's bring my screen back up and I'll give a link back because some people may be wondering, how do I get back to that? So if you're just joining us, we're about to jump in. We're minutes away from doing one of the coolest things I've ever seen being done before. And just know, if you choose to give, none of it goes to us. It all goes to a 501c3 charity called Rural Tech Fund. You can check them out, ruraltechfund.org. If you give in any amount, we're going to give you the full videos of what we build today. So you're going to have everything all together. So we're popping the links into chat. There's the QR code. We're not demanding that you give. Boy, we would love it. It all goes to school systems to make the world a better place. So there you have it. I think we're about ready to get started. Tom, any other final parting words before we jump in and we go live?
No, I'm ready to go live.
Hey,
I want to see some output.
John, it looks like Rory's going to hit you with the $100 bucks, so I hope you're ready.
Terrified. I'm like refreshing if we start this.
Yeah.
I want to hear some smooth voice from John.
Me too.
No.
Hey, and Jennifer Bleem checking in. Jennifer, thank you for giving. You're an amazing person. If y'all don't know Jennifer, an MSP Sales Revolution, she's an amazing person. Thanks for being with us today, Jennifer. Thank you for giving.
Oh, man.
All right, so John's going to cue it up, and we, my friends, are going to get started. I think we've got the coolest thing ready. If the hackers are ready, I'm ready. Tom's ready. Let's go for the countdown, baby. Here we go. We are 8 seconds out from the coolest thing you've ever seen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is go time.
Go time. All right.
So Tom, what are you thinking?
Like I said, I'm just kind of excited to see the outcome of it. I know these people have all used these tools to an extent. They've used them in their jobs, so they've got some experience with them, and they also these aren't just randos. These are not like we took someone off the street. These are people who have some experience and some business knowledge to apply some logic to it. So I'm just really looking forward to the outcome, seeing what they come up with.
You know, I'm in the same boat as you, my friend. The thing that you hear so much hype. We're at the top of like the hype cycle on generative AI and what it can do. And the nerd in me is always like, oh, come on, it's not really going to be as we use it for making images and maybe like analyzing text. But what we're doing today is showing how it can actually build some apps and some platforms. And I'm really excited to see that happen.
Yeah, it's not something I've actually done. I mean, I've had it write me all kinds of little scripts. That's probably my most coding I do with it. I've never wrote a full application with it. And it's great for doing like, hey, I need this Python thing to manipulate this data, fix this problem I'm having. And those are great tools. Matter of fact, I suck at PowerShell, but it will write PowerShell scripts. And so cool. I don't have to know the language, but I know enough about it to read it to go, all right, that looks like it'll do what I want it to do. So to see someone take it that bigger step, and to cut through, because every time I see a demo, it's overhyped. And people think I'm really downplaying it when I say it's just a tool. And it's overhyped sometimes by people trying to sell me on their product or sell me on their tool. But I'm like, no, it's useful. Let's just be realistic. It's useful for people who have a good concept, understand the outcomes, and understand the code. That's what's really useful. It levels them up. It levels up someone who's got that knowledge. It's definitely helped me. And as I mentioned, even, we'll talk about soft skills such as writing. I know how to write. I've been, we'll just say, posting on LinkedIn for before I was using it with ChatGPT, but it just helps it make a little bit easier. So it made me more efficient at something I was already doing. And I think that's where AI can really excel, is those type of tasks going where we want to make you faster at what you do, more efficient at what you do. And because you have those concepts of what is or isn't right for it to say, you won't just copy and paste it. You understand nuance. And I just don't like when it's oversold to me, like, you can take the first level 1 tech, the 18-year-old kid, his first job can be writing an entire application. No, not likely.
Yes, exactly. It's that same reasons. I'm in the same boat as you are. I want to see what happens. And to me, it's a little bit like, you remember when Web3 and crypto wallets and all this stuff came out? I mean, it's like, whoa, it's going to change the world. And yet it wasn't really all that impactful. If I can go so far as to say it really wasn't impactful in the least. And yet with AI, it has the same amount of hype train that's coming with it, except I really do believe what it's granting us is not just pseudo value. I think there's some real value, and we're going to see it. So if you guys are joining us today, thank y'all for joining. Welcome to AI Hackin' 20. Our creators are behind the scenes right now getting things going. In a minute, we're going to switch over to each screen. We're going to talk with them, see what they're building, what's going on in their world. But before we do that, Rory, I saw that money come in as a donation to Rejection Con. Thank you so much. Katie Vreeland, thank you so much. John Wallace, thank you so much. If y'all don't know, just seeing you come in and give to the Rural Technology Fund, which is the whole reason we're doing this as a sponsorship, is just amazing to see it. It really is going to impact schools across the U.S., and I'm just super pumped about that. Tom, I don't know about you, but I came from a rural location myself, and so it's really meaningful to me because I know how much schools struggle with really bringing STEM awareness out there.
Very much so. It's the phrase I really like is, talent is evenly distributed, but opportunity is not. And this is just to really help close those gaps. When you are someone, the walls are higher when you're somewhere going, hey, I have these skills or I have this desire, but I'm in a rural area. We just don't have technology. We don't have much. I got really lucky, even at a young age, to get some access to technology. It was by a weird series of happenstance because my dad was an auto worker, and GM at the time was doing grants to teach auto workers computers. My dad had no interest in it, but he signed up just because it gave me the opportunity to get a computer. That's how I could even afford a computer when I was a kid. And so anytime, if I don't know how much different my life would be if I didn't get some type of grant opportunity, because it wasn't going to happen in the schools. I was just in an area that just really wasn't the thing. And I'm under the impression, Wes, you kind of said the same thing. So you find those little niche opportunities, and so many people I've heard that story from. It took so much more determination versus, being an area. If you're born in Silicon Valley, your outlook looks a lot different.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. And, I was exposed to a computer early on because my dad was getting a PhD in research, but we immediately moved to middle of nowhere, Kentucky. And Yeah, absolutely. We didn't have broadband. I still remember the days in high school when I'm sitting using a phone and my mom picks up and like my internet gets cut and I'm back to the basics again. Like that's the world for so many people. And it's not just even rural, it's even inner city too. One of the great things about Rural Tech Fund is they also support inner city schools that are just simply underfunded, which is an absolute shame. And how many kids do we know that they're built for this world and they just don't know it. They don't know that this could be for them until they put their hands on a keyboard, until they program a Raspberry Pi, until they send some CubeSat up into the atmosphere and their mind just blows open with how cool this is. And I think the other thing that's so neat to me, Tom, to me about it is I've talked to people that said it's gotten my family out of poverty. It's rescued us from, all kinds of horrible things. And, that's really what this is all about is that mission that's behind it. So it's super awesome. I think we're going to jump in. Just so everyone knows, we just had a little commentary time while we're waiting for everyone to kind of get their environment set up and start building. We're going to zoom into each of our folks and we're going to see, oh my goodness, Megan Killian, $511 she just donated. Megan, that is absolutely unbelievable. Thank you so much. On behalf of all these kids, that is above and beyond what I thought anybody would do. Thank you so much. We see that, we see you, we know what a giver you are, and we know how much of an amazing person you are. Thank you. And she's actually one of our speakers at Rejection Con this year, and her talk is going to be just stellar, Tom. It's going to be really awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
That through. I might not have even been clicked in the right thing. So I'm using Whisper Flow on my computer. So I'm just going to grab that transcript real quick. Hey, what's up? Sorry, was busy talking to my computer. How are you guys?
That's okay, Jeff. What's up, man?
Not much. We're just starting. I just set the preface. So anyone that gets the after effect is going to know exactly what we're doing and why. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm behind the scenes building a custom GPT. And I've just given it the objective, and now we're working through essentially giving it the name and the role and all of the other functions to solve for the most critical scenarios, which is, hey, I just got referred, but I don't know what to say. Or I say what I normally say, and they never call me back. I totally botched it on a 15-minute monologue on a sales call, and I don't know how to pull it back in and regain control. It's all of the things where the MSP might show up to the right conversation, but the wrong way. It's all going to be distilled and packed down into this, and just building along with the systematic prompts. I like to think the coding, so to speak, that I brought to the table is the 18 years of time I spent in MSP, half on sales and half on tech, where it was always about the people. It was the psychology. It's a people business. It's a service business. It's a hospitality business. So it's understanding the words that you need to use to get people to move, right? Transferring conviction ultimately. So that's what I'm doing. You have any direct questions? You just
Jeff,
want to
I got a real basic question. So you're creating a new GPT. What does that mean?
Yeah. So if you have a paid account, or at least I don't know that they're in a free, but if you have a paid account for ChatGPT, you can do it in the $20 plan. You can create what they call as a custom GPT on the back end. I'll even show you how to get there. So if you go, this is really where it's at. If you don't have a paid plan, you wouldn't have the My GPTs or the create. So all I'm doing is creating a new one, and then I'm priming it. And when I'm saying that is it takes the context of an LLM and it brings what I want it to do into just my own custom project that will only act and behave and talk and speak the way I'm going to tell it to do it.
Love it.
Yeah.
That is a challenge a lot of people don't realize. LLMs having such a broad, absolutely massive training model means they're too much of a generalist. So this is really bringing them down to be a specific, expert for you.
Yeah, exactly. So like, since I started it over, I'll just show you really quick. I'm using a speaking agent, so I don't even type. I hate typing, but here we go. I'm building a real-time sales coach specifically for those MSP owners, the technical ones that really kind of get stuck in those daily sales moments, right? They get ghosted and they don't know why. They talk too much on the sales calls, or they don't know how to respond appropriately to when they even get referred. So this is setting the context of how I'm going to build out, what it's doing and why it's doing it. And you can generally see it'll build this out as we go along. I'm just in the create pane. So it's going to work alongside me as I continue to feed it what I want. So next, give it a name. So I want this to be called the Fix the Moment Assistant. So it's going to put that in there, and then I'm going to give it a little more context around what does that even mean. So the description for this GPT is going to be a tactical, real-world sales coach that helps MSP founders say the right thing even in those awkward or stuck moments. I want things like follow-ups. I want referrals. I want to be able to overcome or handle objections appropriately. And I need you to give it to me in copy and paste format. It needs to be ready to go. And it needs to also include coaching insights.
Absolutely awesome. Hey, Jeff, we're going to catch back up with you. This is so cool. Well done. We can't wait to see what's going on. Hey, Tom, let's check out what John Harden's got. John
I want to hear him speak.
Harden.
Harden's got a lot more code.
You are muted, my friend. We're getting there. Hey, and while he's... Oh, there he goes.
Do you know how hard it is to do ASMR only vibe coding while listening to you talk to Jeffrey Newton? This is very difficult.
You can blame Rory for that, who gave $100 to make it happen.
I'm screwed. This is almost impossible with this now.
Well, maybe Rory will let you out of it for, I don't know. We want to see the best of what John Harden's got. So, Tom, I suppose we can use our dictator ability to let him out of the deal.
Yeah. We have to, yes. We want to see a working product. That's really important here. So to teach, because that's how people will learn.
Yes. All right. So let me walk you through what we've got going on. I just I've not made a ton of progress, but thank you for using the dictator ability so I can actually get something done. All right. Right now it is scraping 20 vendors that I chose out of thin air from ChatGPT's knowledge bases. I just pulled them out of thin air. We've got Puppeteer scrolled up right now, and it's just going through and snapshotting PDFs of the documentation. So what we're going to do is take the documentation, and I chose 20 out of thin air. Like an MSP should just take the top 20 vendors they use, right? And then we're going to take the knowledge base, we're going to feed it into a custom GPT, and we're going to make a build your own onboarding adventure game to learn about the tools inside your MSP with knowledge base info provided by the vendor. So I have no idea if this is going to work. It seems to be scraping information right now. So I'm pretty excited that we've got some good knowledge, but we'll see what happens when I get to the custom GPT side of things.
I can't wait to see as well. It's always like the front end is so the front side of what you're doing is so impactful to everything else. So we'll see. If
I know. Like if this
the
fails,
cards right.
How much time are we in? By the way, I have no idea.
We're about 8 minutes in. So
right.
you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna switch over the next, but first of all, Will Capes, thank you for giving. I see that came in. If y'all are joining us, if anyone wants to give, you're gonna get full access to every one of these videos at giving of absolutely any amount. And Brad Gross, I see your question. Yes, all donations go directly to the site. Tom, shall we move over?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ashley's got going on. Ashley, what's up?
I was nodding as if I was part of your conversation when you were talking to John about how hard it is to talk while you guys were talking. I was like, oh, I probably haven't been able to communicate to. I was like, so yeah, I agree with what Tom just said. How's it going?
Excellent. Catch us up with what you're doing. We're excited to see.
Yeah, so I was building, just to start with, one of the biggest things that I've learned is to not confuse the AI too much up front, but also sometimes you get better options when you spread your stuff out. So I decided to use both Lovable and Bolt to test out my plan. And I've got a somewhat working prototype, and I've also got some errors. So there's also another one of those things where I'm just going to refresh this page just to make sure it's the same error, but I'll come over to the one that's working here to show you. So I can import data. I'm just using a sample data right now that so that we can visualize this online. I'm going to use the sample users data from JSON placeholder. And I'm just going to plug this into the URL here and fetch that. And then that's going to get me back in a tree view that I can cascade and look at all of the information that I want to see. And I can look at it in a table, and it'll flatten out any nested fields for me and the addresses and everything. And I can also look at it in a card view. Obviously, this is not pretty right now, but my goal now on the next step is to make it so that the fields that we're selecting can be defined as to what shows up in the table in the card. If they wanted to nest something out, like if they just wanted the address.street, for example, as a field, and also the AI assistant. So I've got this, I think, working. I was like, what street does Leanne Graham
I can never
work?
spell the word Graham. It's one of those impossible words.
Oh, live on. Live on. Let's see. Couga's light. And that's true. So technically what I said I was going to build is mostly built here on this side, which is pretty cool. Goes to show that the prompt that you put in a first place, thinking about it, is really important. I was running into some package import errors over there, so I did start another one just in case it wasn't going to work. And then this one worked. It's doing similar things. I like his cards better, and I think I like the AI assistant layout better, but I'll share the links with you guys, and you guys can try them out too yourself afterwards. If you can
Super
decide
cool.
which one's better.
I love it.
Question on the package is it trying to pull in packages that don't exist?
No, it's not. I'm pretty sure that there's I can go into all the problems that I've had with the way that it does that, but sometimes it'll forget to import it, but it'll try and use it. Other times it'll import it, but then not use it properly. It'll try to recreate the code on its own. So you kind of have to look, and if you didn't see exactly where it was, then the good news is that it gives you these things and it lets you try to fix it. But I can actually go in here and go chat only and say, why do we keep getting this error? Please think like Uncle Bob to fix it. And so it's going to know how to, it's almost like we can have cheat codes in our language with AI because it knows how to extrapolate a lot of context from a simple example. And so I tell it to think like Uncle Bob, and it's going to go, all right, solid principles, separation of concerns, making sure that everything is this way. And it's going to start doing that on its own without me having to list out all those things that I want it to do. See, look, let me think about this like Uncle Bob, Robert C. Martin. And it's going to go through, it's going to map that out. It thinks that it thinks that it has a plan, and then I can tell it to implement the plan and see if it works. And then I can watch it as it's going through to see if I know, like, for example, earlier when you guys were with somebody else, see, oh, yeah, let's install the package. So it forgot to install that originally. Oh, but then it failed. So now probably there's some sort of package discrepancy with the way that it's working, which is something that I should have done not in 20 minutes of time. But the good news is I have this one over here, so I can look at that one afterwards and not waste my time.
I love it. Ashley, thank you. This is so cool. We had another giver jump in. Thank you so much. It's really great to see the one and only Brad Gross. Thank you so much for jumping in and giving. You are awesome. Just so folks know, if you want to give to the Rural Technology Fund, 100% of the proceeds go directly to them, none to us. And what that does is help support school systems across the country in building out technology and awareness for it. So thank you so much. And anyone that gives gets full access to these videos. Tom, how about we check in on Kevin and see what's going on in his world?
Yeah, let's move over there.
Hey, what's up?
Kevin, what's up? Show us the goods, my friend.
I'm waiting for like a terrible profile picture to generate. No. So I had my first pivot. The API request was too large. And I spent like 4 minutes trying to figure that out. That's like a come back to later. So as sort of, this is the nice thing about chat, like these custom GPTs, is you could just upload the CSV file as like a secondary option. So that's what I did sort of just as a backstop. And then I'll come back to the API later. What I did is though, I also uploaded the data to like a separate conversation. And I'm using that to actually write me the instructions to feed to the custom GPT. So I gave it this like enriched database that I have. This is synthetic data that I just generated. So what's cool is I have all this sort of information on these companies and these people, but then I also include this like very simple line. And this is sort of like the key unlock here is like, how do I know the person? Like, how do we meet? And then like, what is our current relationship? It's literally like a 2-second thing that can be entered either in like a Calendly, field or whatever on the back end. There's like an option for like a private note. But so, and look at this. So I was able to work through sort of what this template should look like and then get to an example. And so here's an example of an introduction between these two people. It's, hi, Megan and Christopher, blah, blah, blah. Megan, meet Christopher. She's an IT director. Oh, and by the way, it gives like an example of like why this is happening to begin with. And I'll actually reference that in the custom GPT. But then you could see like, link to the LinkedIn profile, which is in the database, which that's always really useful when you're sending a good like intro. And then where we meet. So we met at the local Chamber of Commerce event in Philadelphia. In this case, I worked with Megan on a joint project. They're very professional and great at what they do. Like this is almost exactly as like how I would introduce people and then kind of just get out of their way and let them take it from there. So
Love it.
Right now, I'm working on the custom GPT to actually bring this all together. And then I should be able to just hop in and like do this on a whim based on anybody in that database.
Awesome.
I think this is a clear example of taking your knowledge and packaging it as a product, because there's a constant people saying, well, it's impersonal to do ChatGPT intros. I'm like, no, your impersonal is just asking it to do it. You're taking and going, all right, I'm looking at the output, I'm formatting the output to how I intro people. And because Kevin, you have skills at that, you're now able to build this as a tool that shares those skills with others in an easier way. That's at least my perception of it. I think it seems pretty cool.
I love it.
It's like the reason that I have a need for this is because just this morning I spent 15 minutes sending an intro email between two people. I would love to have been able to narrow that down to 5. It's like 15 minutes really well spent, but like if anything can be shaved off, that means I could have sent 3 of these emails in that 15 minutes instead of 1, which to me, that's what I'd rather do.
Super cool. So Kevin, thank you. I know we got 2 minutes left, so we're gonna leave you so you can tuck up and finish everything up. Man, it's really cool. I feel like it'd almost be worth having 40 minutes just so we could check back in with everyone to kind of see, okay, where are you at now? Where are you at now? Where are you at now? But that's what the videos are for. So if anyone wants access to the full videos with overlays on what they're building and why, all you got to do is give $1. $2, whatever it is, over to Rural Technology Fund. We've got a link for you. We'll share it. You can scan that QR code or however you want, and you can give in any amount. It all goes to them, and would love to see that happen. So here in a couple minutes, it's going to be judging time. Tom, walk me through kind of your thoughts so far.
I was hoping they'd all be a lot further along, but it is only 20 minutes. This is a really short time to get done. I know we caught John early. I have a feeling John's going to have something that's got a lot more code behind it that he's pushing. I have a feeling if you give Ashley enough time, she'd also make it really, really pretty. Like the output of some of her stuff usually has a nice flow to it. So I'm hoping we get some decent stuff out of here. I will mention though, in something, I don't know if you heard about this or not, it was an article just from a few days ago called slop squatting. That's why I asked her about the packages. Turns out ChatGPT will consistently, almost 20% of the time, hallucinate the same made up packages for developers. And someone realized that because there's a consistency, they started registering fake package names because it keeps inventing them. And they dubbed this a slop squatting attack because the AI slop will continuously build packages that don't exist. And if the developers aren't familiar with this made up package, someone could build a malicious one. It was a great article. I was like, this is a weird attack I never thought about.
Yeah. And someone's going to do that. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's just sort of an iteration of the same days of people like taking over deprecated dead or dying repos, or even like browser toolbars, all of these kinds of things.
Any of those. It's very similar to those type of supply chain attacks. I just thought it was that's why I asked her if it happened to be doing that, only because I read that article the other day and I'm like, that's interesting.
Yes. Well, guess what, Tom? We just like Kelvin said, Kelvin, good to see you on. By the way, an anonymous giver, thank you for that $10. That's absolutely awesome. Whoever you are, thank you. Tom, we're now at 12:40, and that means, if I am correct, it is time for hands off, and it is time to see what's going on. How's it going? How'd we do?
The most challenging part was managing and monitoring, listening, and trying not to. at the same time,
That
like
was so hard.
yeah, speaking
Yes,
and
that was
building
yes.
with the hearing because I didn't want to like get brought
all of
on.
them.
Yeah,
Well, we'll have to do this again sometime, and we can always improve, right?
yeah.
So 20 minutes. What did it go by in like 8 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the big takeaway from each of you so far?
Don't offer up ASMR. I should have asked for 1,000. That would have been. I sold myself short.
Ashley, how about you?
It was good. I've got 2 proof of concepts to present. So
Awesome. I can't wait to see. Kevin, how you feeling?
Not great. I mean, I basically have accomplished nothing since I last talked to you. So that's
Well,
where I'm at.
we did steal you at the very end, which means you didn't get those last few minutes. So I think, Tom, it's probably fair that Kevin needs another minute to tuck something up.
No, I'm
We
good.
can grant it.
I'm riding
Okay.
with what I got. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Jeff, what's in your mind, brother?
Oh man, I know for sure that the most critical, and I was even saying this for the recording, the most critical part is nailing the voice and the tone. So when I was giving this my command for that, I had the talking going on in my head, and I know that I inserted some words that shouldn't have been in the voice or tone. So it's about 90% of what I would have expected, but 90% still like 100% better than where it's at, or where they're starting from.
Well said. Really well said. So, Tom, we got Juan has jumped in and given $20. Juan, thank you so much. You're the man. Appreciate that. Man, just so everyone knows, I know I've said it over and over. You never know when people log in. Any amount that you give to the Rural Tech Fund, our charity sponsor, will get you access to all of these videos in the raw format, so you can really see something built from the ground up. Tom, why don't we jump into each of our contestants, maybe, and we'll kind of see how everything's going. I think we're going to start first with who are we starting with first? Is it
It's Jeff, it looks like maybe. Yeah, all right, back on stage. So like I said, or like where you guys left off, I was making a custom GPT, right? So in custom GPTs in your account, they all show up over here. So I'm in the one that we built. It's called Fix the Moment. So I'll just close the rest of them. And we'll go back actually to that conversation. Hey, what's better than live? Here's where I got it too, ultimately, was when you enter the conversation, it gives you a handful of prompts. Were you ghosted by a prospect? Are you getting pricing pushback? Do you not know what to say at all? Do you want to send a cold outbound email? Really just all the sales motion stuff. And you can see how simple even the prompts need to be when you so finely tune down the deliverable. And just to give a little bit of contrast, which is in the recording, I started off by going through and demonstrating how a MSP would traditionally send a message. Right? This would be a cold outbound email. It's a wall of text. There's way too many acronyms. It's all me, and nothing about how we actually help. That's like the before the bot. The after the bot is 3 sentences, basically. That says, hey, I'm a local MSP here, or it should have said that. But again, I probably inserted the wrong words when I was overhearing people. I help a few other dental practices keep their systems tight, fast, HIPAA compliant, and no tech drama. Not sure who handles IT in your office, but if you're ever dealing with slow systems, weird Wi-Fi issues, or just tired of tech eating up your day, I can probably help. Worth a quick intro. Zero pressure, just local, no BS support. That was definitely my cussing at the machine at the time. But at any rate, right, it's not 3 paragraphs. And a little bit of tuning there, and someone would actually consider replying. But I think, more of the magic's kind of down in maybe like the pricing objections, because you don't know how to get through those conversations very easily. But at any rate, I won't go into those. What I will say is the format that I told it needed to do was tell me where I am, right? So like repeat back to me the situation I'm in, give me what I need to say instead, but then help me understand why the hell you're telling me to say that. It's all primed in psychology anyway. So every time you interact with it, it's a built-in coach to tell you where you're going to.
Man, really cool. I love how practical this is and how elegant it is. Sometimes the best solutions are just simple, practical, usable, and elegant. Tom?
Yeah, just coach's notes makes it simple. And sometimes that's what people need, especially often I feel the sales objections, technical people can be really good at their technical side, but especially the sales side, they can have some confidence issues even more. So that's probably where their imposter syndrome kicks in even highest, is dealing with a client rejection. So I kind of like the idea of it being coach's notes. Here's the push you need to help get that sale pushed through.
It's really designed to help MSPs show up to the right conversation the right way. oftentimes, to your point, Tom, we as tacticians and like educators and how can we help people, we show up to a sales conversation as an educator, and they're fundamentally different conversations. And so this coach is really defined to set up, how do I approach this through the right sales lens? And oftentimes, especially in sales, like the quality of your conversations is going to come down to the quality of your questions. And so if you really don't even know how to structure a conversation, then all we got to do is say, we'll just ask it. Hey, I have a prospect meeting in 10 minutes. It is with a local dental account. Don't forget I'm an MSP. Can you give me the 3 discovery questions I should open with? And
Love it.
we'll just shoot that to it, and it'll give it back.
Love
It's
it,
real time.
man.
It's there.
Jeff, well done. Love to see it. Let's move over to John and let's see what he has got in his neighborhood. John Harden, what you got, my friend?
All right, I'll go quick here. I had Cursor building my code. Cursor basically built a Node.js script. Have no idea what it built in the code, to be dead honest with you, but I did check the package JSON every time I ran it to make sure I didn't get any like package injection going on here.
No slop squatting here.
Yeah, no, long story short, like I ran 20 vendors at a ChatGPT. I made it give me a list of 20 vendors and their knowledge bases. And then crawled those 20 knowledge bases. And then I had to write a script to combine them all. That's what I did. 90% of the vendors, I got Cloudflare blocked. And other ones like straight up blocked me. So I kind of realized I'm SOL on data. I did get like a few pages. So I built a custom GPT. This does say not Wes Spencer. You can't see it, but it's a tech quest tech quest guide. See, that's 10 times fast. And you are playing an RPG. And so you literally get to go, you're choosing your starting zone on which vendor you want to learn, whether it's the Firewall Ridge, a Sophos, or the Dark Web Dungeons, a Dark Web ID. And then it asks you questions and you have health that you get to stick along with. And if you answer the questions right, you do damage to the slime in that zone. And if you answer it wrong, which I was wrong apparently there, I should have gone to S my cases. I end up with loot and XP and I lose one of my hearts. And then it just keeps going through questions. And so a fun little MMO style Q&A about my vendors.
You know what I would use this for? It'd be so fun to gamify this with my tech staff at an MSP, because how many times we have all this tool sprawl and we don't even know who does what. So it's a fun way to really get exposure. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, the example that comes to mind is because I think every tool has decided they need to offer host isolation. So which one do you use when you need to isolate a host? Because you've got 5 options. Hopefully your process has a specific one you should use in your MSP process, but those are real questions.
Yeah. So
Love
the better you train it, the better it'll go.
John, well done. Can't wait to see what's next, but I love it. And thanks for showing what you got, man. It's really good stuff.
Awesome.
Cool. Let's head over to Ashley. Ashley, what is up? Show us what you got.
All right, I will. And when you left me, it was the package. It did install properly. It was just the leftover error and it was working right after. So, all right, I'm going to open up. I have 2 of them. And I'll open it up in a new window. Actually, I have it open in a new window already. I've deployed these. So like somebody wants to play along at home, they can. I will share the links. These are just the 2 examples. They're going to come through as my, yeah, they are. Okay, well, they're not very good there. But it allows you to enter JSON data. So I'm using just sample data from JSON placeholder. Like I said, I'm using the users. I'm going to grab this users list here. I'm going to load that in and fetch the data. And so this is what it looks like on its own. Most like you could put anything, but just for the sake of this, I'm putting that. It automatically loads all of that information out, which is not that special on its own, but it allows you to put it into the table or card view. You can choose which fields. So if I just wanted the username and their city and their email, then it'll display just that in the thing. I can export that to a CSV, which I don't think it'll show you if no, it's not going to show you, but trust me, it exports. You can attest to yourself. It exports to a CSV if you're following along at home. The API setup is interesting because I didn't want it to be working right away. And I didn't want it to be sending any data to anywhere other than where people wanted it to go. So this one I'll show. No, it's not gonna. I'll show you where I got that from. So if you go to your like the Google AI Studio, they'll let you generate free API keys, and you can just grab one from a list. You can copy it, and then you can plug that right in. And now I can start asking it questions like, where does Antoinette live? See if it works. Yep, it does. And so the publish view says configuration saved for publishing. So I didn't get all the way there. It's not generating me a new link for you to just see the table view the way I wanted it. But it's pulling that in. And then the same thing here on this one. I think I even got maybe, yeah, so same thing, card table. I configure the fields. It's a little bit different of a display now. See if it works. Oh, well, didn't get a chance to bug that one out yet.
Yeah,
so.
but it looks like it works though. It's just a
Yeah.
UI thing. Man, really cool. In 15 seconds, because we got to jump over to Kevin next. But what would you do from here with this? I guess you could orchestrate with like all kinds of other systems to query and use the data itself.
Once I had my MVP ready, I would probably go through and clean up the code before I did anything else. Made sure that the package is like, I made sure that like the way that it was structured in the directory, and if anything needed to be restructured or put into more. I don't want to like build crazy scaling, complicated code on top of itself. I just want to prove that it can work, and now go back and refine it, and then go from there.
Love it. Love it.
Nice.
Awesome. Thanks for showing us. Let's go check in with Kevin, our last contestant, see what's going on in the world of Kevin Clune. What you got?
So I don't know. Moment of truth. So I'm going to actually ask. Basically, I'm going to say, okay, I just talked to Julie Gomez. She needs a referral to someone to help with her website. Can you suggest someone from my network? So this is step one. We're going to see, do we actually get a response, right? Like, can they look at all of those people and say, hey, here's who I think you should actually refer to? And then step two is going to be, okay, now write me an email between those two people. So we'll see what we end up with here. Okay, so I recommend, oh, look, and it just jumps right in and writes the email. So how cool is that? So it says, I recommend introducing Julia Gomez to Jonathan Kramer, marketing lead at Bowen Jacobson. So I think that is at a marketing company, if I can find them correctly. And then boom, you've got this. You've got links to the LinkedIn, so they are able to kind of do a little background. And then so I can just copy and paste that right into my email.
That's awesome.
That's simple. And
Yeah.
not that they're hard to write, but I do pause when I just literally did an intro email to connect one of my clients with one of the vendors directly so they could sort out a problem. And it's just like, putting that in there is not hard, but it's nice to have it kind of automated like that. That would definitely be fast. Like I know who you need to talk to for this. And that's great.
And this is the magic touch right here. It's like, oh, we've collaborated on several projects over the past year. He's consistently like, I love to like add those touches because it really helps to reinforce, and it helps honestly from both sides, because this is how you get more referrals. You make people look good, and you're kind of honest and transparent about it.
I love it. And I mean, I spent so much time doing that on my own. So This is really cool. What an innovative, awesome idea. All right. So I think it is now time for us to kick our contestants off the screen. And Tom, you and I have the hard part now. We got to go pick a winner.
Oh, I know. Because I like all of them.
I do too.
I got to admit, though, John gamifying things fun. That's just, for technical people, I think gamifying learning makes learning more fun. That just tickles me a bit, though. I got to admit, though, the sales coaching, that is that's
Pretty
a
cool.
very big challenge for technical people. There's a reason there's a lot of people like Jennifer Bleem to help people get better at that.
Yes.
There's a demand for it, and there's a need because they're
Yes.
not always good.
Yes. Yeah. Well said. I love what Ashley was doing when she first started showing me what I was like, my brain is not like big enough for this. This is what, and then seeing the output of it and seeing
Yeah.
how queryable all that data is. And then to think the infinite things you can do with it. She really kind of built the structure and the girder for something that is immensely powerful in the future.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much data available, as she even commented earlier. We're just swimming in it, and trying to make that data actionable is not easy all the time. It's the analysis paralysis you get by going, you have 10,000 people to sort out. Well, now what?
Yep. And then the one I would use myself, just day one, would be what Kevin just did. That was really, really cool. Wow. So we got to judge really quickly. I don't know if you can share my little Excel spreadsheet out, Matt. It may be, I don't know. There we are. So we were supposed to grade everyone based off at 0, 1, or 2. The problem with this, Tom, is I don't think we have time for that, and we should have just had all of this roll into AI and let us just summarize everything quickly and come out with a decision for us.
AI watching this in real time and then say pick a winner, so we didn't have to.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's a winner. So maybe we just won't use this altogether, and we'll say that we tried. Tom, who you feeling like? Who are you going to give the trophy to?
I'm going to give a vote for John and a vote for Jeffrey, and I'll let you see if either one of those, because this is not easy.
Okay, so we got to choose between John and Jeff, do we? Man, this is so hard. Can we lean on the audience a little bit here? If you guys help us now, this is not to say what Ashley did is not absolutely incredible.
Exactly. And also we just talked about, because me and you both connect people a lot because we have a large group of people we know.
Yeah.
So Kevin Clunes is actually something I'm going to go write that anyways. You'll watch Tom. I'm not building a startup on it. I'm just going to use it.
Yeah, we all agreed that we wouldn't we'd all be friendly on who we pick, but it's just so hard to pick.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of something that's very actionable to the MSP community. Like, these are two tools that I think they need, a better sales tool or a better onboarding tool that gamifies, using the tools. So that's why I chose it. I mean, I know it's kind of arbitrary. Give me more time and I'll think deeper about it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, right. We have 1 minute left. And so the votes are coming in. I think we got to get it to Jeff. So Jeff, you are our winner for the very first ever AI Hackin' 20. Yes. Let's go.
Thank you.
Oh, so awesome. How do you feel?
I feel amazing that I won. I feel really frustrated that I only got it to 90% for everyone on that link. So I might just tinker here and adjust the voice a little bit more and push it. But man, sales was something that took me so long and so much failure to force my way through. And I know that so many other people deal with that too, that, to be able to do something like this with AI now, the culmination of all that experience is just, it blows my mind every time I do it. So I'm happy to sort of pay that forward and show people how to make things. Like, AI is really about you versus you, which is exactly what sales was too. And it helps you think and elevate your ability and your capacity to show up. And if you use it that way, then you can get things like this. So yeah, super happy for it.
So well done. And Jennifer, I hear you on, we should have AI have him create a trophy, or we could just go IRL. Jeff, we have a trophy coming your way. I don't know how well you can see this, but you are now the official goated AI in 20 winner, baby. How about that?
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. That'll work great. It'll be the greatest backdrop piece. I'll clear my whole bookshelf for it.
Oh, it's so amazing.
I like it.
Man.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining. It's been so much fun seeing what we've learned together. If you want to grab the videos, donate in any amount to the Rural Technology Fund. It's an amazing 501c3, and we will give you access to all 4 of these videos fully unedited to see everything. Tom Lawrence, why don't you carry us out today? Yeah,
I just want to mention the real winners are the kids today that everyone donated. Thank you, Tara, for saying that. Love it. But this was great. Thanks everyone for joining. This was something that leave some comments, throw some ideas, reach out to us, and maybe do this again. I think this is fun. This is definitely an idea, or maybe we give them more time, or we let them pre-do part of it. I don't know. We'll play with these ideas. I just got excited to see all this. But thank you all for joining us, and absolutely thank you for everyone who donated. It was amazing, and see a lot of you at RejectionCon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care.